Okay, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning. Today, once again, you're most welcome. I was meant to share the same topic the other time, but I realized the video was going to be too long, and I know you'd get bored along the way to finish the whole video. Anyways, today we are going to look at the next fundamental stitches that are very important when you're just learning how to crochet, or when you're trying to advance in crocheting. Now this we're going to talk about treble or triple crochet. We're going to talk about back loop. We're going to talk about front loop. We're going to talk about front post. We're going to talk about back post. Now these two, it's either front post double crochet or front post single crochet or front post treble crochet. So it's either of these. Once you have the other previous stitches, single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, then this is just a walkover. I just want to show you guys how you go about them, how you can crochet this. I love working with these most of my projects. I love working with front post and back post. They bring out a very nice project. It comes out very nice. So yeah, you get to know, you get to see the difference also as well. You get to understand that the project will come out very beautiful. So without wasting much of your time, please note, stay tuned at the end of the video. I'll share with you more of the tips. So if you're just learning, and then because I want you to get the best out of this video. So let me put this aside, and then we get to our video, our project. Now if you're in Uganda, you will be familiar with this doubling the strand, because our yarn is very small. Most of the time I find myself doubling the strands in that way to get the best strand, or the size I would prefer. So you might see me using 2 strands, and you wonder why is she using the two strands. So we are going to do a treble or triple crochet. So like a previous work, a previous video, you still start with a slip knot. After slip knot, then you do the chain foundation. After the chain foundation, then that's when you start with so I'll just chain 10. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So after the 10, now from the stitch, now we are going to make a treble crochet. Now from the hook, from the hook, you're going to go in the 3rd stitch. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So from the hook into your 3rd stitch. So now the treble or the triple, you yarn over 1 2, then you go into the next stitch where you're putting your treble. Now you have 4 loops on your hook. You yarn over, you pull the first 2, you remain with 3, you yarn over, you pull the next 2, you remain with 2, then you yarn over, you pull the last two. Now that this is your first treble, we're going to do it again. Yarn over twice, you go into the next stitch, you pull the yarn, you have 4 loops on your hook. This is 1 2 3 4. You yarn over, you pull 2 at once, you remain with 3, you yarn over again, you pull 2 at once, you remain with 2, you yarn over the last time, you pull the last 2. This is our second treble. You yarn over again, you go into the next, you pull, you have 4 loops on your hook, you yarn over, you pull the first 2, you remain with 3, you yarn over, you pull the next 2, you remain with 2, you yarn over, you pull the last 2. So that is how the treble or the triple crochet is done. So it's as simple as that. You just bear in mind that before you you go into the next stitch, you have to yarn over twice. Then you go into the next stitch, you just pull the loop. So yarn over twice. Now before you go into the next stitch, make sure you have 3 loops on your hook. That is when you're crocheting a double crochet, you have 3 loops on your hook. So you go into the next stitch, you pull the yarn, then you have 4 loops on your hook. Then after the 4, you yarn over, you pull, you remain with 2. You pull the first 2, you yarn over, you pull again the second time, you yarn over and pull the last time. So it's supposed to be 3 times. That's why it makes it the treble. So basically that is how you do the treble or the triple crochet. It's just that simple. Sorry, I was making a mistake. It's that simple. So you continue until you finish your chain. This is how the treble or the treble or the triple crochet looks like. It's as simple as that. Like I said previously, bear in mind you have to count them. After counting them, you're supposed to be sure of how many they are. Always have a rough book and a paper or a pen, or a paper or a rough book, and you always put down everything. That way you don't forget. I always forget, so but once you introduce that into your mind, or once you introduce that, you will not forget these stitches. So always count them and be sure how many they are. So for the next row, you just chain 2. So you make sure you finish your whole chain, you finish your whole foundation chain. Then the next row, you still the same, you do the same thing, you chain 2, you turn, yarn over. If it calls you to start with the first stitch, put the first stitch in the first space where the chain 2 space is, you do the same thing. You do the same thing. You do the same thing. Sorry, I have a short. I found I don't have this color, and I wanted to show you in this color because it's the easiest way for you to see, to notice everything. That's why my yarn is as short as you can see. But basically that is it. That's how you do that treble crochet. Now we are going to do the back loop and front loop, and then we go to the last two. So after this, I'll assume this is our foundation chain. I'm just going to chain as short as this one. Then maybe you started with a single crochet. Maybe your first row was single crochet. Sorry, I love music. So we assume your first row was single crochet. Now we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now suppose the project you're working on, you want to use back loops and front loops. So the back loops, now you see these loops, these two loops, this one and this one. Now the one, just want you to see clearly, the one that is far from you, this one that is far from you is the back loop. Then the one that is near you, the one that is facing you or that is near you, that is the front loop. The same. So you just, if you want to work with the back loop, you just go here and pull your yarn and work with a single crochet. Into the next stitch, you just go here. You just use now 1. Now remember, for me, I'm just doubling the strands, so that means each side will have two strands. So I have to make sure that I get those 2. So this is the back loop. So back loop, you take the loop that is far from you, that is for the back loop. Get. Then for the front loop, you take the loop that is near you, that makes the front loop. Now we are going to chain 1, then turn our work. Now we are going to work with the front loop. The front loops now are these ones, the ones that are facing us. Those are the front loops. So front loops, you just take these 2. Be careful here if you're doubling the strands, but if you're using 1 strand, you'll be able to see it clearly. Then into the next, just take the one strand, then into the next. So it's as simple as that. You just, if it is a back loop, you use the loop that is far from you. If it is a front loop, you use the loop that is near you. So that is how simple it is. That's the only secret, or the only way to make you understand it. So that is for the back loop and the front loop. We started with the triple or treble, whichever way you are familiar with, or you'll be able to understand it. Then we have back loop, then we have front loop. Now we are going to do front post and back post. So it's still, everything starts with a slip knot, then foundation chain, then from the foundation chain you start building from there. So we assume this is a foundation chain. I'm going to chain maybe 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 anyway. So, and we assume our first row is a double crochet. So you yarn over from the hook, we go into the 3rd stitch. This is 1 2 3 to the 3rd stitch. You pull the yarn. So I'm sure you already know how to crochet the double crochet. If you don't know, if this is the first time to watch, I have already another video. My first video, I just took you through all that, how to crochet the double crochet, single crochet, half double crochet, slip knot, foundation chain. Then from there, once you have this is your foundation chain, it's done. So we assume now you're going to work with back post or front post. So chain 2, we're going to the next row, chain 2, you turn the work. Now this chain 2 is above this, so we are not going to work with this. So suppose we are working with front post. Now front post, that means you yarn over, you see this previous previous stitch from the previous row, you just come, you yarn over, you come like this, you insert your hook here, you see, then you pass your hook here, you bring this front in front, this stitch, you bring it in front, then you pull the yarn, then you finish your what, you stitch your double crochet. That is if you're using double crochet. Then we assume the next stitch is a back post, you yarn over, you come from behind this time, you see, you come from behind. Now you take this stitch behind with you like this, then you pull the yarn like this, then you finish your what, you stitch. That is if you're working with double crochet. We are going to do the next. Suppose it is still a front post, you yarn over, if it's a front, you pass behind, you pass under that stitch like this, where you see my fingers, so you pass here like this, then you pull the yarn, then you finish your stitch. If it's a back post, you pass on top here, so you just bring your hook like this on top, then you go this side to push this stitch behind, that will make a front, I mean a back post. Then you pull your yarn like this, then you finish your what, you finish the stitch. So this is how the back post and front post are worked in. So this is a front post. Let me put down, this is a front post, you can see it is forming a post. Then this, the one that you're not seeing clearly, it's a back post, because the post is the other side. You get my point? The post is the other side. Then this next is a front post. The one you're seeing clearly is a front post. These ones that you're seeing clearly is a front post. Then the one that you're not seeing clearly, this one, that's a back post, because it is, we pushed the post backwards, so it makes it a back post. So that's how simple it is to make a what, a front post and a what, and a back post. So bear in mind, still the projects that you'll be working on will be the ones to determine whether you want to use a front post or you want to use a back post, whether you want to work with single loops or I mean front loops or back loops. So you find that you have those, when you start making these projects, you find that there are those areas where you need to be familiar with these. Now, like this is a ribbing, so this ribbing, it's worked with single crochet with the back loop in the back loop only. This ribbing, this one. So you find that you'll be familiar as time goes on. You get to understand which one, how often do I use single loop, I mean back loop. I don't know why I'm calling it single loop. How often do I use the back loop, or how often do I use front loops, or how often do I use front post, or how often do I use the back post. So all these you get to understand as time goes on. You get to know these details. You get to know once you start working on those projects. So the reason why I chose to use this, I found I only have these colors, these weird colors, and you will not be able to see them in the video. So that's why but I found I had this as small as this as this. That's why I'm not making something big. So basically that is it. And the secret, or the it's not that it's a secret, it's a tip that I would want to share with you. When you're learning to crochet, the mistake we have, or yeah, I think it's a mistake to most of us. It was also the same mistake. I'm just sharing the mistakes that I made, and I didn't want you to make the same mistakes. I was excited, I was overwhelmed. So I was here and there. I wanted to make this, I wanted to make a poncho, I wanted to make a sweater, I wanted to make baby dresses for babies, I wanted to make stockings, I wanted to make baby boots. Like, my head was all over. So when your head is all over, you're learning, but at the same time you're wasting your time on different things, whereby concentrate on something that on a few, then as time goes on, once you have learned, you are sure now that you're perfect at crocheting, then that's when you can explore other different projects. But if you find you're learning now, if you're learning, you want to make a bikini, you want to make a poncho, you want to make a sweater, you want to make like name it, like anything that you feel you have in mind, you would want to make all that. Now when you're trying to do all that, one, you're wasting time. Let me just write down a few. You're wasting your time. Now instead of you putting you're concentrating on a few, like you can decide to say, for a start, let me start. I started learning like I said, my head was all over. I wanted to do everything, and I thought it was something that is simple. It's not something that is simple. You need all this everything here requires time. Time is the most important thing. It's the most important thing of which we underlook it. So you need time, and if you decide to say that you decide to put your energy on each and everything, like I said, you are wasting your time. Just find a few, start from them, then from there, that's when you have once you have mastered your crocheting skills, or your then that's when you can decide to to look at everything that you feel that you want to do. But for a start with a few. Once I was sure that I realized that I was wasting time most of the time, so I decided to focus more on making scarves. I'll share with you a photo of some of my scarves. So I decided to focus more on the scarves. So from the scarf, then I went into ponchos, then from the ponchos, sweaters, then then baby dresses, then like that. But at first I was all over, my head was all over. So don't make the same mistake. Then secondly, the second one, like, you want quick results. You want quick results, like you want to learn now. No. It's not, it can't be. You cannot just learn now. You cannot just, the truth be told, no one is going to tell you this. Truth be told, you're not going to watch this video, you get your hook. Yes, you get your hook. Yes, you will learn this, how to make single crochet, double crochet, blah blah blah, all that. But one thing that is going to make you not be able to achieve this. How to work like straight. If you have you have like your work requires to have straight edges. Straight, is that the spelling? Forgive my English. Straight edges. This one, it gave me trouble. Oh, with scarf, this one gave me trouble. Like I said, if you're not counting your stitches, believe me, this one is going to give you headache. Up to now, I have like the friends that I trained, because I trained some of the few friends that I managed to meet face to face. Those of you that I did not meet, you're the ones that I'm making this video for, because I realized I could not meet you because one, our finances, because of the situation, is limiting us. Then secondly, because of the distance, some of you are very far. Not that you're very far that I cannot reach you. No, I can still reach you guys, but the problem is we have failed to get time. Second, then once, that's why I decided to come up with this channel, so that I can share with you guys. Now, once you start crocheting, you will learn these others have quickly learned single crochet. The matter, once you get the hook and you start, you start crocheting, that system, the body will adjust easily. But the problem will come when you're making anything that requires a straight edge. Not necessarily a straight edge, but it needs to be in order, if I may use that word. So like for a scarf, they go this way. So you find that if you started with 10 stitches, the first row, then the second row, if you're not counting, if you're not sure where to put the first stitch, where to put the second stitch, where to put the last stitch, you find that in the first stitch maybe you have 2, then maybe you say you skipped one, then you have the next, then the last one you have still 2. So now you find that these are how many? This is 2, 4, 6. These are 6. Now you find that in the second row you have, this is 2, 4, 6, 8. Now you have 8, and you even skipped a stitch. So that's why I said get a pen and a paper, note down every stitch. Note down every stitch. If your first row you started with 100 stitches, and your second row you are not required to do any reduction, there must be still 100 stitches, unless if you intend to increase or decrease. But if you're not intending to do any of these, then your second row and third row should be the same. So bear in mind that to make your project, as you're learning, truth be told, don't expect to watch this video or the previous video and then you be excited, you buy your yarn, you buy your hooks. At the same time you say, now I'm going to make a baby sweater, whereby a baby sweater you don't even know. Start with the simplest. Now let me tell you, just start with make a scarf. This is the simplest thing to make when you're learning how to crochet. This is the most simplest project to make. Once you've finished making a scarf, then the rest you are good to go. You are good to go, just believe me. Anyway, I don't want to waste much of the time. I don't want to discourage you. Just be patient. Like I said, I'll keep saying it, be patient, don't rush, take your time. Now these different crochet stitches are the fundamental to become an inventive crocheter. If you master a few from this, then you will be able to master the rest in no time. I encourage you to try the most stitch you are most intimidated by. Don't be afraid to don't be afraid to be don't be intimidated by something you have never tried before. Just no, don't be intimidated by that. Like, I'm just sharing you this, and I'm saying that don't expect results, blah blah blah. Yes, it's not that I'm discouraging you, it's the truth. That's the fact. You get my point? That's the fact. I just want you to understand, and I just want you to go into this with an open mind. I don't want you to just watch the video and then you rush, you buy the material, and then you start casting. You start like, oh god, these things are not coming out, these things are not coming out, these things are not coming out. They are not coming out because you are not being patient, you're not practicing enough. Practice, practice, and practice, and practice. That's the only way that you do what me. What I would do, I would make single crochet, I finish, I remove, I chain again, I do the same thing, I like that. That's how I would do. You get my point? So with that, I would love to see you grow. I would love to see us grow together. So don't forget to share my video, like, and subscribe as well. Yeah, subscribe. Let us help others also discover this channel and learn more. So with the crochet, that's the little I have for you, or we'll be sharing more as time goes on. So thank you.